So we're going to have to move quite quickly through them. Investec, we're going to start there, is a diversified financial group primarily active in investment banking, private banking and asset management.
Indeed. So it's established in 1974 by Stephen Kosef and various other parties still associated and involved with the bank. It's done quite a lot of internationalizing and expansion, but Hendrik du Toit, who built the asset management business, that now really comes to the fore as the crown jewel in the whole operation. It's got assets under management out of London. You can measure it there, about 75 billion pounds, which is about 1.5 trillion rand. Astonishing.
If we look at the mothership, so to speak, Investec itself has a market cap of 98.2 billion rand, trades on a PE of 14.2 and a dividend yield of 3.32%. So as Paul has clearly set out, we're talking about the asset management business under Hendrik du Toit, a star performer.
Well, that is the business now in Investec. Look, Investec's got a long history, very dynamic in the 1990s in South Africa. I mean, the environment was different then. You could trade your own proprietary capital, you could go into private equity, all the private banks. That's all changed now because of legislation. Then they decided to go overseas. Now, I fully remember those days. Companies were under intense pressure to internationalize their earnings, to go. South Africa, the rand hit 20 against the pound in 2001, 2002. There was intense pressure. Now, Old Mutual and Investec went offshore, and it caused them another 10 years worth of headaches, in fact, going offshore. Now, Investec now is back to an asset management business, which is UK based, but in fact, the rest of the operations are very much dominated by South Africa because they've sold off just about everything they bought overseas. Australia, Kensington, the island business. They've sold a lot of stuff, but now I suppose you can say they're back to basics now.
Back to basics, but the asset management business under Hendrik, your thoughts on where this is going?
Look, they are an asset gatherer. They continue to gather assets. You can see each time they report results, it's another $2 billion, another 2 billion pounds inflows. The market has performed well, as we all know, since 2009. So it's just going to go on working for as long as it works. Remember also they have that private banking and private client asset management business which flows seamlessly into that business. It's both a source of new funds as well as an additional high margin area of business in addition to the institutional assets. And they've got that business here in South Africa as well as in the UK. So I think it's just going to continue to do well. The specialist bank also fine in my opinion. They're very strong in property. So I think it's a good, glossy team. You know, you meet people from Investec, they always look good and they sound good. They dress well. So I think it's a plucky, mid-sized player on the global scene and possibly even an acquisition target in due course.
An acquisition target in due course. Wayne, that's a wild card, isn't it?
Look, like most of the companies we're talking about, except Coronation, they had a tough 2010, 2011, 2012. Earnings went sideways to down for virtually all of the companies. It was tough, but the last couple of years have actually been quite good earnings growth. And Investec has, and they term it legacy assets, they've got rid of them now.
There we go. You're not going to mention the potential takeover target, hot or not, Paul?
Look, I think it's hot. I think it's going to continue to do well, but I'm quite positive with regard to the market outlook. If for any reason you're not, then this is a stock perhaps to avoid, but for me, definitely hot.
Hot or not?
Hot.